This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
SERAP is calling for the disclosure of the monthly running costs paid to the senators, as well as an accounting of the spending to aid in transparency and accountability. Now, SERAP has said if the National Assembly does not reveal these costs, it will face a lawsuit. This morning, we're going to be joined by SERAP's Deputy Executive Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. Mr. Oluwadare, good morning and welcome to the conversation.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
I wonder if you could speak to us about the lawsuit that SERAP is, essentially saying will be as a result of the National Assembly's leadership failure to reveal the running costs for each senator.
Thank you very much. But I think we are just begun here. It's not a lawsuit yet. And hopefully it wouldn't be a lawsuit. I want to give the National Assembly, particularly the leadership of the National Assembly, the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
These will not be another instance of a public interest lawsuit. If they heed the call of the public, in this case, by form of the advocacy that SERAP is doing presently to the National Assembly, and like you have rightly captured it, it's simply based on good governance, of course, under the tenets of transparency and accountability. Transparency meaning that Nigerians have the right to know, in this instance, how much clearly is each senator earning as his take-home pay, whether under any guise, whether it's salary allowances or call it running costs. And of course, to ensure that this practice itself stops. And we'll find it very hard how any National Assembly member would justify it. And it's so much in a country where even the minimum wage that is far below, much more below that, cannot be paid by the government.
Right.
But that is the basis of that. Okay.
So we've seen a number of different figures really quoted as running costs for these senators. Senator Sumaila Kawu says it's 21 million naira. We've also had an ex-speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, saying that his comes to a little over 25 million naira. Is it possible that these discrepancies are what is leading us to this point?
Yeah, thank you. I think we need to streamline the conversation and break down the issues. It is actually, the issues are different. And if we unpack it, one is the legal framework, the legality or lawfulness of these payments. Second is the quantum, which is the quantity of the amount. Third is the lack of transparency behind the whole process. Let us start with the legality of the processes. The Constitution has provisions that guide the allowances and remuneration of the National Assembly members and other political officials, including the president.
Right.
And that is also why we have the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, which also has an act, the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission Act. And what the Constitution says clearly is that commission, which BRAMFAC, which I'll call the commission, is the body that has the power to fix and determine what will be the salaries, allowances, and remuneration. Those are the three words that the Constitution uses of political office holders, including members of the National Assembly. And RAMFAC, the Commission has come out to say that it has not prescribed 21 million. I think what RAMFAC prescribed is below 2 million also. So if the National Assembly members are earning above that, even if it's 1 naira above that, and it's breaking the law. But what we are saying, and so to go to the second aspect, which is not the quantity, again from the first, is that this amount is just too much. And we've seen the commission, by commission I mean the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, come out to say that they did not prescribe 21 million, 20 million, 15 million or so. They've cleared, and that law by RAMFAC is in the public domain about how much they've recommended as salaries, the president, vice president, including the legislators. That is the core element of the quantity. Then as to the transparency and accountability behind the payment of remuneration to the National Assembly members, that is where Nigerians need to understand the nuances of lawmaking, debating, and expenditure. What the National Assembly has done, and again, it is a clear part of the law, is that in contrast to the remuneration fixed by RAMFAC, the National Assembly members now pay themselves what they have termed running costs. to themselves from the allocations made to the National Assembly to the National Assembly Service Commission, which is wrong. And you would understand that the funds that is due to the National Assembly, comprising of capital expenditure and recurrent expenditure, is paid by statutory transfer from the annual budget to the National Assembly Service Commission. It's from there that the National Assembly pays its members what is termed running costs.
So, Mr. Oluwadare, if I may, and this question you've just asked, so on Radio Now last week, we had a former Senator, Shehu Sani, who explained what running cost means. And we just want to play a clip from that interview for a moment, and then we'll come back and speak with you a little more on it. So take a listen. Senator Shehu Sani, he served in the 8th National Assembly.
Running cost is the cost of operating your office in terms of the expenses you incur, which includes flight tickets for your journey, hotels bookings wherever you go, your newspapers, perhaps your data. These are what they call running costs, things you need to make your office functional. We have offices. If you are a senator, maybe you have like 7 or 8 local governments, and each local government you are expected to hire an office where people can submit their go attend and make presence. Make your own presence there. So it is now categorized as running cost.
So, Mr. Oluwadare, during his time, he says they were paid 13 million a month. Of course, at 21 million, you can see that there's a significant difference now. So he's just explained what running costs is. What's your reaction to that explanation?
We shouldn't let anyone confuse us by semantics and words. And I've just told you that Section 84 of the Constitution, also including paragraph 10, of the third schedule of the Constitution, that's Section 32, describes what the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission will determine to include remuneration, salaries, and allowances. So what you just played, what he just said now, is it not part of an allowance? Can't you use the word remuneration to capture everything? And so it's just semantics. So what the running costs will be used for, they are allowances. He's talking about tickets, setting up a constituency office and whatnot. They are all still part of allowances. So, and again, which is why the important question is, why would the law empower the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission to fix salaries and allowances? And then the National Assembly can bypass that to still pay themselves monies that is different from such. And that is why the process is shrouded in secrecy. And that is why it is not transparent. And I was explaining earlier, before you played that tape, that the lack of transparency that allows this money to be paid starts from the budgetary processes, where the funds due to the National Assembly is by statutory transfer. It is not broken down. That means that we do not have the benefits, and by we I mean Nigerians, do not have the benefit of knowing what is recurrent expenditure and what is capital expenditure. The moment it gets to National Assembly Service Commission, it determines what is recurrent expenditure and what is capital expenditure. And that is where these malfeasance are started in governance. So the fact that we even have a senator telling us how much is paid, we are finding out too late. The whole thing has started, the wrongdoing has started from the budgetary process that has allowed these kind of funds to go to them without even details. And then they can pay themselves whatever they call. So the time running cost is semantics. It is all still part of the allowances. And this is an excess of what the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission has recommended for them. And it is clearly a breach of the law.
Right. Well, Mr. Oluwadare, thank you very much for your time and your expertise on this conversation. We are just speaking with Kolawole Oluwadare, the Deputy Executive Director at the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, who is calling on the National Assembly to reveal the running costs of each senator, which has been the subject of public discourse in recent times. You're still on to Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. We urge you to stay tuned to your Beyond the News station. The conversations continue in just a moment.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.